So let's start getting on here with the building, creating a needle book. I'm going to create a needle book, an artsy needle book. Because see, I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about what to do with my squares, because I got these beautiful squares. So I'm going to do this. I'm putting these two right sides together, and I'm just going to stitch them down the center here, and then take these two. Oh, that's three. I only need two. I didn't even think to look at them, you know. I just put them together. And so then I'll put these right sides together, and I'm going to stitch that. Stitch them down the seam, and there it goes. And yeah, okay, so then I'm going to take and put these two pieces together, the right sides together, the pretty sides, and then I'm going to start sewing them together. I'm going to kind of, where should I go? Yeah, right here. And so now I'm sewing them all the way, almost all the way around, and but leaving an opening, because then I have to turn it right side out. Let's see here. So we're going to go ahead and get this. This will be the cover of the needle book. So, and I'm going to have the pages in the needle book is going to be with felt, because felt is a very nice something to put a needle through. But this is going to be more than a needle book. It's going to be a little bit bigger than my normal needle books that I make, because this is going to be able to hold more sewing supplies than just needles. And so, because you probably would want more sewing supplies than just needles. And that's in my thoughts anyway. So let's get going with this, because I sort of know how. I'm not going to do this whole thing today. I'm just going to get some of it done today. Okay, now I've had this sewing, as long as I've had this sewing machine, I just realized that I got a button to turn the needle up, to pull the needle up. I'm such a dork, because I've been turning the crank, you know, to get it up. Okay, so you've seen me already do the patchy work stuff on there. Well, now I'm going to I want to cut these corners off up to the corner thread, but not cutting that thread, because then this makes sure that your corners aren't quite as bulky. And so this is a kind of a design as you go kind of a thing. Okay, so now I'm going to turn that, well, right here it is. I'm going to turn it so that it's not inside out anymore. And so we're going to do that. Turn it the right direction So the pretty side will be on the outside, because there is no sense in hiding that pretty side. So I could have probably left a little bit bigger of a hole, but as you can see, I didn't. But I will get it turned the right way in just a little bit. Oh. My daughter is calling. Just a minute. My daughter. Okay. She just had to tell me she had a good DoorDash delivery. Sometimes she gets crummy ones, but she had a good one. So see, now I'm using my knitting needle as a pokey tool to get my corners stuck out like they should be, so that it looks like it's got corners and not rounders. And there we go. And then number 4. And whenever I'm doing something that I'm going to turn, then I always leave my opening, like my opening is right here on the side. I never leave the opening. Would you get out of my way? I never leave my opening, you know, where it's on a corner, because then it's too hard to get the corners. Okay, so I want to just press this for right this second. I'm going to press it. If you just excuse me for a second here while I'm over here with my iron, and I'm so lazy that I got everything set here, my sewing machine and my iron and stuff, and then this way I don't have to you know, get up and move, you know, because that's like a lot of work on my old body. When I was a teenager, I could do a lot, but now that I'm not a teenager, I'm a queenager. Oh, oh, here's my hole. Okay, so I gotta fix that corner a little bit tighter. Okay, there we go. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch the stitch on my machine, so it's kind of a like a zigzaggy. It's not a zigzag, but it's like a swirly. So I'll give it a little swirly, and then that will close up. That'll close up that opening. Plus it will, let's speed that thing up, give it a little speed. Plus it will kind of flatten the edge. Okay, turn. Now there's going to be slow stitching on this. See, this is all machine. So far all I've done was machine stitched, but I will be doing some slow stitching. So just because I want to, that's why. Not because of anything else, just because I want to. And so I'm just getting this. It's like top stitch, they call that, when you're just kind of top stitching. Isn't that funny? They just call it top stitching. And so, and this is all of these patches, if you didn't see me make these, are just sewn on here raw edged. Just raw edge stitching, which is scraps of fabric. And just scraps, just lay them on a piece of fabric. And see, these were all 8-inch squares of fabric, and then I just used an 8-inch square of fabric, and then I just added to the top of it just a bunch of just scraps. Makes it very colorful. and beautiful. So I'm almost done here. Almost the home base. Okay, so alright, see, I didn't run out of bobbin thread. That's so I get points for that. Okay, now I have this. Now what do I want for the front? Well, I can have this for the front, or I can have this for the front, or I can have this. This won't do because I don't want her upside down face on the front. So I think this will be the front. Yeah, and then this will be the inside, and then this will be the back. No, maybe I want this to be the front, and this to be the inside, and this to be the back, because I don't want to cover up her face. Okay, so this is going to be the front. This is going to be more better. This will be the front, because on the front it's going to have, I'm going to do some, you know, stitching of things on the front. I think I want this here this here piece of lace, this here kind of lace to go on the binding, and yeah, I think I am going to just sew this down though with my sewing machine. Yeah, I'm going to sew this down on the sewing machine, although I might do some slow stitching over it after. Now we're getting that. See if I can get that on there straight. Okay. And yeah, that's getting on there good. So that'll be like on the spine of my needle book right there. This is a design as you go thing, which I love. Design as you go. Hello?
Hi, sorry to bother you, but I just had to call and tell somebody.
Yeah.
The people that I dropped this food off, it said hand it to me. Normally they just say leave it at my door and take a picture. So the dude comes to the door and he's so friendly, and I leave and I hit delivered on my phone, and it says my total for that ride was $14.25.
Wow.
Yeah, I went back to this app I have. It told me my pay was going to be like $10.85.
Oh, so he
Yeah,
left
this
you.
guy left a big old tip.
That was nice.
Yeah. So anyway, it was more than what I thought. So that wasn't a bad run for the first one tonight. $14
That
today.
is very good. Hopefully you have good runs all night. Yeah.
All right, we'll talk to you later. I just had to tell somebody, and you came to mind.
Okay. I sure do love you,
All right.
darling. Okay,
I love you
bye-bye.
too. Bye.
Okay. My daughter she does, what do you call it? DoorDash? She does really good with that, little job of hers. Okay, now. So, she's a busy girl. Okay, now. Let me get that little extra piece of thread in there. How did that happen? Okay, so now I put that down the center, and that's going to be like the spine there. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to put a border. So I braided this. This is just all um, braided strips of fabric, and then I just braided it. And so what I want to do is this I want to slow stitch on there. But to make it a little bit easier, let's see, where should I start the end? Start the end back here. I'll start it right here. To make it a little easier, because I've already done this on one, let's see, right here. I started to make a small needle book here, and here I put, this is going to be a small needle book, smaller than this. Well, it's the same width, but this one's going to be wider this way. But see, I put the braid on there, just slow stitched it on, but it kept trying to run away from me. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hot glue, and I'm going to glue this on, but then the glue is just going to hold it so that it'll stay put while I stitch, because I want to stitch it. I don't want to just glue it. So, but I figured when I did that other one that, you know, I was cursing, and I was not cursing, but, oh my goodness. Oh, my glue sticks. My glue sticks. I went in my other room to get glue sticks. Couldn't find them in there. Then realized they were right here. Right here by my side. You gonna walk out to the road and back? Okay, Papa. I love you too. Papa's gonna run and walk out to the road and back. Okay. So I'm going to see, I don't always have, you know, my plans are not always right there, and I don't have a plan, so then I don't have everything I need ready, you know. So, ooh, that was a little bit warmish. Okay. So then it's a good thing I have that little pause button. I can pause and go get something I need, which I'm fixing to have to pause and go get my the thread I want to use to stitch this on. I might not make you watch me stitch the whole thing on because you'll get bored. We don't want you to turn into a board. And so you start turning into, people are going to nail nails into you if you turn into a board. And this would probably stay on with this hot glue too, but I do want the look of the slow stitching on it as well. But I don't know, with a lot of use, it may not really. Okay, I'm gonna put that right, oops, right over there. And I'm going to put this right right over here. Ow! Dang! Don't put your fingers in the glue, Elizabeth. See there? I have glue on my thumbnail. My thumb. Okay. Alright, now let's move that over there. And maybe we put a little bit more glue on there. This time we'll be more careful as not to touch our fingers to it. We'll use a scissor handle. Put glue on my scissor handle. Okay, there we go. Okay, now you can see that I have that binding on there, the braid on there to go like around. That's going to be like this. And I love the braid on there. I think that looks awesome. And so, I gotta go get my thread now. Okay, so she went and got her thread. This is Sashiko thread. And I like this thread. It is so colorful. It is so soft. It's so easy to work with. And so, let's see if it's easy. Get out of the package. Okay, now, so pretty. Okay, and so I'm going to sew this on with the seeing if I can find an end, which I can't. I'll take the whole thing off here. I've tried taking this apart before, this kind of thread, and then I can't never find the end, and then I usually wind up with a wad, and so where's the end? Is this an end? No. You know what sometimes I end up doing if I can't find an end? I make an end. Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna just, let me see. Oh, I wish one time I could figure out how to get this apart. Open it up with, well, Elizabeth, Marie. Ooh, wait a minute. Maybe ooh, look. Look what I did. That's what it's supposed to do. Oh, that is what it's supposed to do. So, but now I've got to get this little piece of thread off of here. Oh, so that's the ends. I've already used like 3 skeins of this here thread and have only had trouble. There, see, look at that. Oopsie, it hung up in my needle cushion. Let's move that out of the way. Okay, there we go. We are cooking now. And so I am going to just take this may not be exactly what I need it to do. I'm not gonna do it right now, but I got these little tubes here, and I'm going to hopefully, after I just get off enough here to use for right now, which I'm not going to go over this whole thing on my little video here. So yeah, I'm gonna, well, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, and animals and kitty cats and monkeys and unicorns, I don't know if this here video will be something that I should even show. But geez, it's me. That's just troubles I get into. Okay, I got some thread here now. Lay this up here. Now, then I'm going to use, I'm going to use this one. This is actually a Shishiko needle, but I really need a shorter one, but this will work. This will work fine. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm only going to, what I call a whip stitch, it all the way around. And because I've already glued it on, then it's going to, I mean, that's on tight with the glue. Ooh, I got like, this is going to have to go like through 4 layers of asphalt. Oh, good grief. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. My gluing might have to be what it's going to have to be. No, I want to sew it. I want it to be stitched. Darn, doggone. Maybe that needle is like too fat. Let's see what this needle does. Maybe I'll switch to that needle. I'm going to switch to this needle here. And, there we go. Now let's see what happens if I, Am I going to need a pair of pliers to pull my threads through all the way around this whole book? Okay, maybe this is just a beginner issue. But I want my whip stitches to be kind of close together so the color shows. Let's see how this is going to go. Okay. Now, Elizabeth, come on. There we go. Now. When I did that other one, I did a blanket stitch, but my blanket stitch looked really crummy because it didn't, like what makes it into a blanket stitch part, just, I couldn't get it like straight and smooth and stuff. So I'm just going to whip stitch this one all the way around. What I call a whip stitch might be something else, but I just whip it on around, you know. So see, it just shows the threads like that, you know. And so because this here thread is just multicolored and the colors change quickly, I just love multicolored thread. It's so nice. I just put a lot of multicolored thread yarns on my wish list, hoping my kids will see it. I keep reminding them I have a wish list on my Amazon. Sometimes they'll get me what's on the wish list. I think that's legal to do with your children. And so, but yarn for my hats, because I'm making my hats for the homeless. And that's my, you know what it is? that's you know, what goes around comes around kind of a thing. And I love doing things for other people. Well, I love my sewing. I love creating. I love everything I do. I'm constantly doing something, and I just constantly just love doing it. And so, year before last, I did a project with hats for the homeless. I made around 150 hats. I'm going to try and make that again this year. I'm up to 7. I think I got a little ways to go. But, and then they get donated to the homeless. And it makes me feel like I'm doing something to help, because there's so much that they need. I know some people are homeless because they want to be homeless, that nature is their home, and that is like they're on a lifelong camping trip. It's their choice. And there are some people that are homeless because of just silliness, or something. But there are so many homeless not by choice. They are by chance. Ouch, they're just homeless. Families even, families. And there's families that even they have jobs, but they don't have enough money to get into a home, because it costs a lot of money to rent to first even get inside of a home. And so for that reason, they are homeless. And that is the biggest portion of the homeless population. They're in there because of something that happened that caused them to not have a place to live. And loss of a job, sometimes it's health. You just don't know. And it's not for us to judge either. But I know every homeless person has a head. They're a head. They got a head. And that head's going to get cold. And here in Florida, some people might think that, we don't get cold in Florida. But yeah, it gets cold. And people need hats. So that's what I'm making. I'm making hats. And so what I'm doing, though, I've had 2 ladies that said they're going to send some yarn, that they've got some just stashed away. And, oh, that's awesome. That'll give me yarn. But I've also got some things on my Etsy shop, some scrap fabrics that I put up on my Etsy shop. Some of the fabrics have been donated to me, but most of them that I have listed are fabrics I've had for a while. Some of them are fabrics I found in thrift shops, and but my proceeds from what I sell on my Etsy store is what I use actually for my channel and for buying yarn, because I feel like with people, the way people gift things to me, so many beautiful fabrics, that I want to be able to pay it forward, and that is one way I can pay it forward, is to create these hats, knitted hats. See, here's just a few that I've made, but I'm just making knitted hats. This one here, no, this one was okay. Just knitted hats. I don't think I need to make them this long, although long ones are fun. Oh, this one here had a dropped stitch in it, so it was a hole right there. So I just made a flower and covered up the hole. You can't see the hole. But see, these are a few of the hats that I got started. I make them on my Centro machine that Papa just got me that because I was making them on just a handheld knitting circle loom thingy. And then I seen a video where they make that you just crank, you get started, and oh my gosh, they work really, really well. And I was showing Papa the video, and after a while he came in my room. He goes, "Well, you'll get your machine on Wednesday." Tommy Sue helped him to figure out how to order it, and so he got it ordered, and yep, I got it, and I love it. So, and I've got pretty much yarn already, but I know it'll get done up quite quickly, and so then I'll need more, and so that's what I'm using my proceeds from my Etsy store right now is to buy yarn, and I'm hoping also that I'll be able to find plenty of yarn in my in the thrift shops and such. Now I think this won't take too long to go around here, but I'm going to go ahead and make it do that, finish that off camera, and then I'm going to show you as I get on and put the pages in and such, because you all might want to do it yourself. But I just love the look of the patchwork, see, and then putting this braid, the braid around is going to be, that's going to be fun too. It's going to be pretty. But I'm going to do, like, I've got some, I'm not sure how I'll do these yet, but I've got some pieces. You know what I might do? I might put a flower here. Or I don't know what I'll do. I don't know yet. This I think is too big. I think that covers up too much of the quilting. That size is better to have right there. Ooh, that's pretty too. Ooh, that's pretty too. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm going to dig around in some of my things and find more embellishments and such. And then the pages are going to put in here. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to work the closure, but I want this, when I make the pages, I don't want it just for needles. I want it for other sewing supplies as well. So I want, like, there'll probably be 4 pages in here, for, 8 with, if you count both sides, but 4 pages. And I think this will be nice. So, but I will update. So this will just be like the part 1, and so let's see. I'm gonna read. Oh, we'll go back into Poems of Faith by Helen Steiner Rice, and let's see. Poems of Peace and Reassurance. Let's go right here. Heart Gifts. It's not the things that can be bought that are life's richest treasures. It's just the little heart gifts that money cannot measure. A cheerful smile, a friendly word, a sympathetic nod are priceless little treasures. from the storehouse of our God. They are the things that can't be bought with silver or gold. For thoughtfulness and kindness and love are never sold. They are the priceless things in life for which no one can pay, and the giver finds rich compensance in giving them away. And that is heart gifts. And that's what we need to give away. We need to give those away. So I'm going to work on this a little bit more. There's other things too that I'm working on. I want to show you my train. I'll just show you my train here. See, I made this house first. This house. Then I thought, well, I did it all on the machine. It's all just scraps of fabric, and I made that on the machine. Then I did scraps of fabric, and I made this train. And so then I started slow stitching on it, and like all around these edges here is beads that I stitched on the beads. All around the edge I have this jar of beads. There's these little tiny little beads, and most of them are like, they call them bugle beads, I think. They're just a long little bead, and those are a little bit tedious to get on there because you have to use such a small thin needle to get through them. But I got them all the way around the whole thing, and I might pick through, because here I have a cloud and here I have a cloud, and I'm gonna, and this here piece of fabric, this here is circles of fabric. That's the smoke coming out of the chimney. But I have a piece, this fabric here was done by Alicia. And look at how pretty that is. And so I took a piece of this fabric, and that's what I cut these circles out from, because it almost looks like a little smoky. She made this pink one too. And so I love how that looks. I think it's so pretty. And so that's what I used here for the clouds. I mean, for the smoke coming out of the little smokestack from the train. And then the clouds here and here. And then I just did a running stitch around the cloud. You see, I did the machine, and I went up and down with the colored threads first. And then I switched to start slow stitching. After I went all the up and downs with this little spirally looking, then I started doing the slow stitching. And here you can see, like on the roof, there's red and white. I just did a running stitch first with the white and then with the red. And I went with the yellow all the way around the train. I put a piece of lace on the cow catcher, and then I went around. This one piece of fabric I had a little scrap that I got from somebody that had these little circles on it, and I said, how perfect that'll be for the wheels of the train. And and then I slow stitched around the wheels of the train, and I think that's pretty too. This is the bell here, and the smokestack in the window. And here I think I might write train on there. But see, I took the fabric, I just had this here. This one here is this won't go on a quilt or anything. This is going to go in my book. When I finish with this one, this will go in my slow stitch book. So this is just showing you that you can go ahead and start something, and you can do this and have it finished, and it's all done with just the sewing machine. But then you can slow stitch on top of that and just keep going. This will take me a while to finish, but it's fun just to slowly move along, Just slowly move along. And the like if a cow catcher, I don't know if they put cow catchers on the newer them bullet trains that go so fast, but back in the day when they had the steam engines like this, they had a cow catcher on them, and they actually, they was like this on the front of the train, because back in the day, people didn't have their cows up in a pasture. They were just pretty much free roaming, free range cattle, and and they sometimes they would just be on the railroad track. This cow catcher would actually push them off, and they might go rolling and have to get back up, but at least they didn't get squashed, and they didn't want to get squashed. And so that's why that cow catcher was there. I put the little piece of lace on there because then it made it a stronger cow catcher to get that. But anyway, I just wanted to show you what I'm doing with my squares, because I've made many squares, and this is my little needle sewing book, a little sewing book, because in here there can be everything. It can be a pair of scissors, you can have there's so much you can be able to put in here. And once I get the pages in here, and my decorations and stuff that I want to add to the front, then I think it's going to be wonderful. I think it's going to be just wonderful. I should have maybe made my braid might be a little dark, I don't know. So because my braid is dark, I might have to add brightness to the braid, which actually my stitching will add a little bit to there. Okay, I'm running my mouth too long. So, okay, I'm going to ask God to watch over you every step you take and every move you make, and keep using them scraps. Keep using up those scraps. Make something with them. Make something pretty. I mean, even something like this could be a journal cover. Just put pages in there like this, and just have it a journal. You know, it doesn't have to be a sewing book. It can be just cover for a journal. And so, or your slow stitch book, you might just have slow stitched pages in here. There's just so much you can do with this right here. You can stitch these edges up right here and leave it open at the top and have a little pocketbook. I mean, you can the ideas are endless for something like this. So I just wanted to share that with you, and I thank everybody for watching and caring. And you know what I was just doing? Looking for my mouse, and I just had it right there. Okay, I ask God to watch over you every step you take, every move you make, bring you back safe and sound and healthy and happy to the next video. God bless and keep you all.